Hey guys, it's Sky. I'm back with another 2024 Risen Star Stakes video. I'm going to take a different look at handicapping this race, and I call this the non-biased way of handicapping. As people got opinions when it comes to all different races, and most of the time when somebody gets an opinion, you can't really talk them off of it. There's horses I like, and I listen to everybody else talk, and I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Naturally as horse players, I think we're all a little bit stubborn to an extent, but I think this is the one way because this takes raw data of horses and it handicaps and it tells you what the horse actually ran, not a made up speed figure, but we're talking raw GPS mile per hour data that the horse actually ran. And for this particular race, it kind of sucks that for the fairgrounds because fairgrounds doesn't have that capability. Most of the Derby trail tracks do, like Gulfstream, Santa Anita, Aqueduct, Keeneland, Tampa. All the other ones you're going to get this data, Oaklawn, but fairgrounds is the one track that don't. And I hope they get it in the future because it'll be nice to be able to compare all that across the screen, add another level to your handicap. And so for Track Phantom and Hall of Fame, unfortunately, we don't get that data for the Sam F. Davis. If you use that data, it definitely eliminated the favorite in that race and allows you to move on to another horse with some value, like No More Time. So it's not a perfect thing. It's not going to 100% guarantee you the winner, but it'll put you on the right trail and just add another box to check if you like the horse, don't like the horse, and kind of back up some of your thesis. And we'll get to look at some of the races that we do have. And there's 5 big ones we're going to look at. And the first one's going to be the Smarty Jones with Catching Freedom. And this may end up being a very valuable prep race down the road, especially if Catching Freedom wins, because you already had Mystic Dan come back to win. And that horse looked really good the last race. And I want to see what it does going forward because it took that really big step forward. But all right, let's get back to Catching Freedom. And as you can see, the times across the screen, you go all the way back 34 miles an hour, 40.79, 40.48, 39.08, 38.16, 36.96. I won't keep naming off the times. You can see it across the screen. And, go all the way down, finished up at 36.01. Second place finisher just still at 33.89. You had Gettysburg Address coming home at 36.53, who got fourth in that race. But I would say for Catching Freedom, just looking at the raw data times, and of course, it's going to be compared to the other ones, but I would say it's a pretty impressive time for Catching Freedom and definitely makes him a valuable contender in this race and probably one that could go off at decent odds. And the second horse we're going to look at is Resilience. And Resilience, so we're looking at the maiden race at Gulfstream. This is on the Mucho Macho Man undercard. And you can see start at 32.29, 38.74, 40.04. You see all the times across the screen. I'll scroll right, look at some more of the times, and it's going to finish up at 34.62. One of the things I didn't like coming out of that race is that for the Mucho Macho Man, when you look at the times for that, I thought it was the Mucho Macho Man kind of looked a little bit better on the miles per hour. You see Otello finishing up at 34.74, but had multiple calls of 40 miles an hour right here. Basically 2.5 furlongs of over 40 miles an hour. And I know this is a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream, and Resilience was a 2-turn mile and a 16th, but that's a big difference. And it's still the same track; it's just a different turn. And I'm not sure how much that matters. If I'll need to look at more of this in the future and see if it matters or doesn't matter. But I didn't like that for Resilience. And horses coming out the Mucho Macho Man, this is starting to kind of get labeled as one of the weaker preps. So certainly on the raw data, Resilience might be, on the French contender list that, still probably have to take another step forward. And, don't think a horse that's trained by Bill Mott on the Derby Trail this time of year can't, take that step forward. But definitely, if you want to put a negative check mark in the box on something, for Resilience, that would probably be it. And the next race we're going to take a look at is the Rims and Stakes. And they had 2 horses coming out of this race, Sierra Leone and Moonlight. And I'll definitely Sierra Leone watching the race looked the most visually impressive of the 2. Uh, Sierra Leone looked like he was going to win the race, and then Dornoch kind of came back and caught him at the wire. And you can see the times for Sierra Leone just kind of ran consistent around 37-38 the whole time around the track. If there's a definition of a sustained horse for a pace rating, this would be it right here. Is nothing really changed. All stay within a mile or 2 of each other until the very end. So Sierra Leone certainly one I think could be coming at the end on the tickets. And, the video says at the time, say it. We'll see if it's good enough to get into the winner's circle. And The last race we're going to talk about is the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, and that's with Anna Marie. And one thing I keep in mind is this was, back in November, and Anna Marie's coming off long layoff. But, the times on this race all, look good. I say kind of comparable to the Smarty Jones, maybe just same to a little bit better. But, like history says, horses off the layoff haven't done that great in the Risen Stars. We'll see if that holds up for this. But I will say, Anna Marie, certainly looking at these times, definitely makes him a contender. And, Real Man Violin is also out the race. So I would say, as we look at the race, we see a lot of horses that could do something this race. I think the GPS times back that up. I wish it could have helped to really pinpoint a horse to back, but unfortunately, it just confirms what we already thought. This is going to be a deep competitive field. But if you want to learn how to get to those, you just go to results, historical charts. You got year, date. Go to let's say February 3rd, and then you got all the tracks. So click on Aqueduct, and then over here GPS chart, and you click from there, and it'll take you to it and get there. And that's how you find all these times. But thanks for watching, guys. Plenty more come.